The 13th Moon. Chapter 6. The Confrontation with Corvian. The sanctuary of the shadow moon pulsed with energy, the white and black stones along its edges lifting gently into the air, circling like planets caught in an unseen orbit. At the center of the ring, the twin discs of light and darkness burned in fragile balance, like the heart of the universe itself. Arin knew that here the fate of Arinder would be decided. From the shadows of the sanctuary, Corvian emerged. His figure was imposing, cloaked in black fabric that moved on its own, like a sea of night. His face was pale, but his eyes burned like two dark orbs where dead stars shimmered. His magic throbbed, each pulse sending cold waves through the air, as though the world itself was breathing with him. "You thought you could stop me, child," Corvian laughed. His voice was not mere sound. It was memory, fear, and future all at once. Arin felt his legs tremble, but Lyra, the moon-eyed Wolf, stepped to his side, radiating a calm light. The battle began like an earthquake. Corvian raised his hand, and shadows twisted, launching themselves like living arrows. Arin lifted his arms and, recalling the lessons of fire, let courage ignite within him. From his palms burst a red flame that tore through the wave of darkness. But Corvian only smiled. With a gesture, he tore a fragment from time itself. Part of the sky darkened, then returned, as though hours had been stolen and rearranged. Every strike of his magic was not only light and shadow, but also a shift in time and space. At times, Arin felt the ground beneath him was the future, at others, the past. He drew a deep breath and summoned the lessons of the other moons. From the moon of water, he had learned empathy, and in a moment of silence, he allowed himself to hear not only his own magic, but also the pain pulsing within Corvian. From the moon of wind, he had gained clarity, and could now discern when the attacks were illusions and when they were real. And from the shadow moon itself, he sensed the thread of balance binding all things together. Their magic clashed like two storms. One moment they were in the sanctuary, the next in the midst of a burning field. Then on the floor of an ocean, then in a future where Arinder lay in ruins. The battle was not measured in seconds, but in ages that were born and died within a breath. No. But in the height of the struggle, Corvian raised both arms and unleashed a blast of black energy, overwhelming and inevitable. Arin had no time to react. Then Lyra leapt in front of him. The moon-eyed Wolf took the attack head-on, his body of light fracturing into 1,000 sparks. Arin cried, his knees buckling beneath the weight of grief. Half dissolved, Lyra sent one last whisper into his mind. "Do not forget. You do not fight alone. I am within you now." The pain was unbearable. Arin felt as though part of his soul had been torn away. Yet at the same time, that loss awakened within him a power he had never known. The flame of courage, the water of patience, the wind of clarity, and the shadow of balance merged into a single flow. True magic was not destruction, it was harmony. Arin rose, and around him the sacred moons blazed. Red, blue, green, silver, all the colors of the lost calendar converged within him. Corvian tried to strike again, but his attacks unraveled before they reached their mark. Arin stretched out his hand and, instead of striking, extended the thread of time toward Corvian. The shadows screamed, but the light embraced them. "You will not be defeated by force," Arin said, his voice resonating as though it came from him and from all the moons at once, "but by the balance you sought to destroy." Then the magic of harmony enveloped Corvian. His cloak shredded, the light faded from his eyes, and his body dissolved into dust of shadow. He was not destroyed, but drawn back into the thread of time, sealed once more in the place between days. The sanctuary grew still. The stones descended. The disk of light and shadow steadied. And for the first time, the shadow moon shone in its completeness. Arin collapsed to his knees, tears streaming down his face. Lyra was no longer at his side, but in his heart he felt the Wolf's presence, a gentle murmur like moonlight that never fades. And then he understood. Corvian had been defeated not by power, but by harmony between time and the sacred moons. Destiny was not a sword to wield, but a tapestry to protect.